Folks, time for the do now. We got to figure out which figure contains a pair of parallel lines. So how do you do something like this? Alright, so let's check out the first choice we got. First choice shows, I don't know, two lines that look parallel, but are they parallel? I mean, they look parallel, but can we show that they are? Now here's what you got to do. You got to look at what kind of angles they give you. Here I see that one angle is on the outside, another angle is on the outside. So they're both exterior angles. And another thing I see is that they're both on the same side of the transversal. So they're same side exterior angles. So that means they should add up to 180 if this was a pair of parallel lines. So do these two angles add up to 180? Well, let's see. What's 80 plus 80? That's 160, and that's clearly not 180. That means this, even though it looks like a pair of parallel lines, it's not. It's fooling you. All right, next one up. Next one up is this one. Let's check it out. Let me see if I can zoom in here. So this one, what do we got? I'm going to extend this line here so it can look like something real. So that's one of my lines. That's another line. And here's the third line that chops everything up. So they look parallel again, but are they actually parallel? Can we prove it? Or is it just fooling you? Well, okay. So here's something I can immediately see. I see that I've got a line right here, right? So line's got to add up to 180 degrees, right? So if this is 105 degrees, we already know what this has to be. This angle has to be 75 degrees. So the whole thing can add up to 180, right? 75 plus 105, that's 180. Okay, great. So now we know what this angle is, that's 75 degrees. And now we see that this angle is also 75 degrees. Well, guess what? Since these two angles are the same angle measure, since they're both 75, they must be corresponding angles. And if you have corresponding angles, in a situation like this, you got parallel lines. So the answer must be choice 3. Now, if you chose choice 2 or 4, let me explain why those are wrong. For example, if you look at choice 2, you just don't have enough information. You know that this one is 40 degrees, sure, and this one is 140, but you don't know anything else, right? Sure, you can say this is 140 and this is 40, but that doesn't tell you anything about this line. Is it parallel to the other one? Is it perpendicular? You don't know. And it's certainly not perpendicular, otherwise this would be 90. So you don't know if these two lines are parallel. Because, for example, if they told you this angle was 140, then you could say, hey, you get corresponding angles, they're congruent, you got parallel lines. But they don't tell you this is 140. And so you don't have enough information to say these are parallel lines. Last one is the same problem, right? So you might think, hey, this looks like a pair of parallel lines. But again, you don't have enough information. Even though you've got a parallel line here, another one here, and one slicing the two, you don't know what this angle measure is. If they told you this angle measure is 60, then you could say, hey, this angle and this angle, they're alternate interior, they're congruent, that means these lines are parallel. But they don't tell you that information, so you can't assume that. So choices 2, 4, and 1 are all wrong, and so our correct answer choice should be 3.